Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. My name is Greg Crawford. I am the editor of TABB Forum. I'm joined today by Marc Lepere, Chairman and CEO of VoxPop Investing. Marc, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Greg.
Absolutely, it's good to have you here. Marc and I are going to be talking a little bit today about innovations as part of TABB Forum's new Spotlight series on innovations in trading and technology. So with that, Marc, I would just like to ask you, first of all, you've had a 20-plus year career in marketing and advertising, and I'm wondering if you can identify for us some of the key characteristics of innovation. Like, what are those benchmarks that you've noticed over and over again that identify innovation?
Sure. I think the key really is to recognize the huge shifts that take place in the world as and when they do. And these massive movements of the tectonic plates, if you will, usually create new needs that in turn require new solutions. And I think it's a recognition of the big shifts, an identification of the needs. And then lastly is the sheer chutzpah and vision to see down the naysayers and the skeptics and just see it through. And I think they're really the three characteristics of innovation.
Okay. So, and that makes a lot of sense. And we can see that across industries. Now, if we narrow our focus to Wall Street, financial services, some of the work that you've been doing is in that area of marketing investment and company valuation. And I'm wondering if you could tell us now a little bit about what you've identified and how there's a need for innovation in that space today.
Right. I think, again, you referenced earlier, Greg, my career in marketing and with many of the Fortune 500 companies around the world. And what became apparent to me is actually two things. One is that the trillions of dollars in talent and resource that goes into building brands and companies and the value in those things. And the other is what the investors are seeking to invest in. And there's this gulf between the two worlds, and it really does need to be bridged. And that's a very large part of what we're trying to do. The second thing is to recognize how the consumer has fundamentally changed and massively changed over the past 10, 15 years. And now we've really got to the point where the world has shifted from manufacturer push to consumer pull, where the consumer is much more influential in driving what succeeds and what fails.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. We are going to end this part of our discussion with Marc Lepere, Chairman and CEO of VoxPop Investing, right there, and we're going to pick it up with part two. Marc, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Greg.